What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new Creator News Live on this beautiful Sunday. We're going to go ahead and get right into the stream. Today, we're talking about drama, of course. We always have to talk about drama, unfortunately. But today, we're going to be talking about two major things. One is like good drama that might help some people who have gotten scammed, which is the return of Hawk Tuah girl Hailey Welch. We're going to be getting into that, and then also later we're going to be talking about some comments Pokimane made about males dominating the streaming space and there not being as many large female streamers. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right into this and talk about Hawk Tuah girl. So give me a second. If you did not know, if you've been like living under a rock for many, many months, Hawk Tuah girl, all the craze. When she first came out, I hated her. I didn't like listening to that sound go viral and all that. I thought it was annoying and dumb and stupid. I started to like it when it became ironic to like it. You know, sometimes like memes are not funny their first time around, but then when they come back around ironically, it was funny. But the second time when it was coming back around ironically, there was some issues because she was starting a Hawk Tuah crypto coin, which was clearly a scam from the beginning and everyone could have saw it coming. But she did have genuine loyal fans of these dumb people who thought it was funny the first time, who went in and bought this coin, and she scammed people out of $440 million. Now, we don't know how much of that she got. We just know that she was the person promoting this project. This project was packaged around her. And on top of that, she was working with a lot of people who are definitely scammers as well. But the last thing we really heard from her was this clip of her on Twitter.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
So that's the last thing we heard. She went to bed and she apparently just never woke up or never came back because, you know, we're now months since this rug pull happened and we just haven't heard anything of her until this past week. This past week is the return of Hawk Tuah, not on her own, but through a leak. Now, if you didn't know, she has the Talk Tuah podcast, where it's her podcast where she doesn't really do anything. She just talks randomly about stuff. And there is one episode now that is post the rug pull, right after the rug pull happened, where she sat down with FaZe Banks to talk about crypto and talk about what just went on with the entire rug pull and her thoughts going on through everything. This is not an official episode. She didn't release this on her own terms. This got leaked. So there's very well maybe that she's still like in hiding or she's off on a random island or something. But at least we've got something to go off of. So we're going to go ahead and get into this, and we're going to try to, it's 39 minutes. I don't know. We're going to try to, we may watch the whole thing. Who knows?
Guys,
we'll see.
I'm back with another episode of Talk Tuah, and I'm here with Banks.
There he is.
How's it going?
It's going good. Life's crazy right now. I don't know. I say no to every single fucking podcast. The ongoing joke on Impulsive that I stood them up 4 or 5 times. This isn't necessarily my thing, but you're in an interesting position right now, and I feel like it's my duty to come on here and talk to you. You seem like
If you didn't know, FaZe Banks is a huge crypto guy. I don't know how reputable his projects are. I'm sure he's maybe done a rug pull once or twice potentially. Who knows? I feel like anyone in crypto these days has scammed someone in some way or made a project that's not very good for the money they make off of it. But FaZe, even when Kanye was going on his big rant the other day saying all this horrible stuff, FaZe is jumping in like, hey, let me help you make a cryptocurrency, like the dumbest thing ever. So it's like FaZe just likes making money, and like you can't fully hate him for that.
Sweet enough girl, and I feel like I know more or less what happened with you. We're gonna get into all that. I brought a couple crypto nerds with me. We're gonna sit down and talk. And,
Teach me.
Yeah.
She says, teach me about crypto after I just scammed people out of $440 million with crypto. I know I've already done the whole scam thing, but I'd like to learn about it now in the aftermath.
Yeah, no, I feel good. How do you feel?
I don't know. I'm still a little shook up about it.
How was the nap?
It's a very long nap. I would say that's what sucks about it too. I had to read that off a phone and like put it in my words, and I was like, anywho, I'm going to bed.
This is mainly for me, and again, why I wanted to come here and talk about this is because millions of people are going to watch this. Everybody's kind of waiting to hear what you say. Everyone's kind of waiting to see how this plays out. And 99% of these people don't know shit about crypto. Just
and
like
I'm
you.
one of them.
Just like you. Exactly.
I'm one of them.
Exactly. And the ongoing joke on CT right now is like, if she just did this 2 days after Trump, she'd be okay.
Exactly.
Which isn't necessarily true because of the way.
I'll just be very real. I don't think you should be touching a project of crypto if you don't understand the concepts of crypto. Like me personally, I would never do a crypto project, even though I've read an entire book on Bitcoin, an entire book on Ethereum. Mind you, these books came out talking about blockchain before like all of the craze of the 2020s and the rug pulls and everything. I was learning like the back end stuff of it. And I do think crypto is a good thing. It's just in the hands of a lot of the wrong people right now. And it seems like there's nobody actually in this to do good with it. It's more so everybody's trying to just get rich quick through crypto and do these dumb projects. So I don't think if I was getting into a project like this where I was being told I would make millions of dollars, I would do a little bit of research on understanding what I'm doing, especially when, crypto's known for doing scams. Like, all you got to do is search up crypto. Well, actually, let's do it right now. Crypto. Is scams on here? There's arbitrage. I don't see scams. Scams comes up when you add a S. Like it's notorious for scams. And I feel like even if you're like not that into crypto, just doing your lightest research you would understand, oh, I need to do some deep due diligence on this. But her entire brand, Hailey's entire brand is not about, doing the research or doing things the right way or the efficient way. She got a viral video, and then from there she's trying to capitalize on it in a way where she doesn't care about how it's going to affect her long term. She's just like, I got to keep being as big as possible and just grab everything at once while the opportunity stands. I really think Hailey had the opportunity to have a long-term career here, but she definitely got guided by the wrong people. She got guided by people who were like, all right, you need to do this thing, even though I spent like Logan Paul or FaZe Banks or somebody. They spent many, many years building their online presence. And now they're going to turn around and tell Hailey, you need to be doing the exact same thing we are currently doing. You skip all the 5-year steps that we had before building our stuff and just jump right into it. And I think it's overwhelmed her. Maybe even like she might just be fully ran by a agency. She may not even have control over anything. But it's just like all of this seems like it's a missed opportunity. There was potentially some good here, even though I hate the meme itself. But it seems like she turned around and just said, no, I'm just going to do everything all at once and crash out as fast as possible.
It was done. And that's kind of the whole point, right? There's a right and a wrong way to do this. And if you have interest, it's mostly important that your network and the people that you trust to walk into this market are exactly that, people that you can trust.
I think that's where I messed up.
For sure. I can only imagine, fuck crypto. I can only imagine stepping into everything that your life's been the last year and the amount of time that you have been. I've been doing this whole social media content thing at a high level for like 15 years. I'm officially fucking like Unk. And I still don't have it totally figured out. Someone like you, and my shit was gradual. I like gradually got to where I am today, and you were like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like he did gradual. I think like obviously when you've been put into the spotlight that quickly, you can't go as gradual as someone like FaZe did. But I don't think she just tried to tackle too much at once. After you got the big Hawk Tuah meme, decide what you're going to do. Are you going to start a podcast and slowly build on that? Are you going to start a YouTube channel and slowly build on that? Do you want to become a Twitch streamer and slowly build on that? Instead, it was like, no, we need to live stream. We need to go to events. We need to do a crypto rug pull. We need to do a podcast and a movie and a TV and a talk show and everything at once. We got to get as much merch out there as possible. And it leads to this where everything blows up in your face.
fucking parabolic.
I want to start by saying thank you to all my true fans and all the people that actually watch my stuff and they keep up with me. We're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to like get all this figured out and make everything right. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Everything's gonna be good. We're gonna be good. And guys, listen, just as a temperature check, I just want to say, the first thing that she said to me off camera was, the minute you DM me, I really wish I just texted you and called you. And that speaks to me because of how I was introduced to crypto, and we'll get into that. But I'm also kind of on the back end of things too. Like, their team's been very forthcoming. My team is vetting them the fuck out right now and has been for the last week. Thread Guy and Frank, they're going to be on this episode. It's such a weird blend and mash of worlds. No,
It rolled out.
don't cry, Hailey. It's fine. It's
I want to know more about him talking to the guys on the back end, because the guys on the back end do seem like straight up scammers, and it seems like their intention all along was to scam, because like that's why they were reaching out to her in the first place. That's the whole thing these rug pullers do. They try to find the biggest face possible to put out a big billboard and then just take it all as quickly as possible. So I doubt that they're reputable in any way. I don't understand how that would possibly be reputable.
It's all gonna be okay. Life is gonna be okay. Oh, Hailey, no.
Oh, don't do that.
No,
Don't stare at me.
No.
You just
You're
yeah,
adorable.
Just
and
give
it's
us a
gonna be
minute.
okay. It's gonna be okay.
Well, so basically how this idea got brought to me, it was supposed to be like what do they call it, a long-term coin. And the guy that ran the account, he was like, oh, we're going to change like the way.
I'm sorry, you can't do a long-term coin with Hawk Tuah. Like, I think even she knows that like it's going to be a dying fad. You can't, like, who in their right mind says, yeah, Hawk Tuah, that's going to be popping in 20 years, I can't wait for the 20th anniversary of Hawk Tuah when we're all around to celebrate and so excited about it. It's like, come on, you should know better. You should genuinely know better.
The way everybody thinks of crypto is going to be a good place. And I feel really bad for all the people that got affected by it, and it just didn't go the way I planned. And all the money out of this episode is getting donated to all the animals that have been affected by the fires up here.
And I'll match it. Me, Ricky, I'll match it, whatever. It's really, really important for me to make sure that we address everything and get through all of exactly what happened. I think that it's really, really important at this point to be totally transparent about everything that happened with you and your partners and this launch and in crypto, and what makes this bad and what makes what Iggy Azalea is doing maybe even good, and what makes Trump's doing different, right? I want to get through all that. So I brought two guys that
Dog, Trump's is just a rug pull. I have no idea what Iggy Azalea is doing. I've not heard of anything about that. But
and do this crypto shit at a very high level. I brought Thread Guy, he's the biggest streamer in crypto, and I brought Frank D Gods, who launched a very successful project last cycle, and he trades at a very high level. He's one of the best trader guys. These guys are really, really sharp, and they know this market inside and out, and most importantly, they have front-facing brands and their faces are everywhere, and we're all docs, and we all have to move militant, and we're all super, super passionate about conversations like this, because crypto done right is good for everybody.
You can still rug pull with like a very public profile, by the way. Like, it's a lot less. So I give a big example. Logan Paul's NFTs, his little zoo animals or whatever they were. He is an extremely public figure who is still wildly successful and doing all these types of things. And he did what is basically a rug pull, but you got to do it a little bit different. You can't do it as scummy. But what you are doing is still taking millions and millions of dollars and bringing almost zero value to the table. You're bringing a PNG to the table and maybe like a few little things here and there that still do not equivalent to the millions you made off of it at all. So that is my main issue with crypto. I will say there are some good uses for crypto. There are some good uses for even NFTs, I believe. I have NFTs. I have Disney backed NFTs and everything that I still own. And I think in the short term, it is still a get rich quick. I don't see the real uses for it yet, but I do have ideas in the back of my head, especially with AR and all that of what NFTs could be eventually. But the reality is that we're too early. Everything happening right now is just a scam. And if you ever get told, oh, this is the future, I would be very, very cautious about it. Or wait until it crashes, because there's a very high chance that it's just going to crash. And then you can go, if you do actually still believe in the project, go in and buy in after the crash. Don't buy right before the release, because almost nothing, I can't name you a single project or a single anything that has more value than it did at its release point. So that would be my suggestion to anybody trying to get into it. And I just, but like I was saying with the Logan Paul stuff, it's very, very easy for, to have a phase here is saying like, oh, we have public images. You can still be a scammer with a public image. And all you have to do is say, hey, look, the project wasn't a rug pull, it has uses, but like you're still like making millions and millions compared to like no value added.
And everything that happened to you is really, really bad for the market. It's really, really bad for us. I hear everything that you're saying, and you're a human being first. And no matter which way this falls, I mean, it might not ever be in a spot where it's totally good. You might have to hear about this for the rest of your life. Probably. But let's just be transparent and make it right.
Okay.
Hailey, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Cool. Let's bring in the nerds.
Can I have my tissue? Go. All right, you guys. I only got one sponsor left because there's some real ones, and they've stuck with me since every bit of this started.
Is it gambling?
Game Time believes in me, y'all, and I believe in them.
Game Time's more loyal than most of y'all's mans out here.
Yeah, some of those guys just leave at the first opportunity they get. Not Game Time.
Hell yeah.
I'll be real. It is absolutely insane to be doing a sponsor in your response video. Like, people are claiming you just stole millions of dollars from them. I don't care if you need the money. Do not put a sponsor in a response video to you stealing money. That is like actually insane.
This podcast ain't going nowhere, and neither are them Game Time deals.
Game Time gives you the best price guarantee, and Talk Tuah gives you the best damn time. So if you can't decide what to do for shit like me, then you've got Game Time Pick. It filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. They got exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, and a hell of a lot more. Pretty wild, too. If you change your mind and want to bed rot last minute, they got 24-hour returns guarantee, which means you can return those tickets within 24 hours of purchase for a full credit to your Game Time account. No questions asked. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code TALKTUAH for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code TALKTUAH.
Use code TALKTUAH. You can trust me this time.
For $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. What time is it?
Game Time.
All right, Mrs. Hailey. This is Thread Guy, the guy I was telling you about, the streamer guy.
Thread.
Hi, Hailey. Thanks for having us.
Well, of course.
Yeah, these guys are definitely scammers as well. These guys have definitely rug pulled. Maybe not in a very like forward rug pull way, but they have definitely like gotten more value than what they've given. I promise you that.
This is Frank Degots.
Hey, Hailey.
Frank Degonts.
That's it. Yeah.
In the merch too.
Yeah, I got the merch on.
I love
Talk
it.
Tuah, shout out.
These are 2 of 10 of my little crypto nerds, I call them, and these guys do this at the highest level, and they're gonna help us through this conversation. And you have with us, he's off camera, but do you want to introduce?
I have my lawyer here too.
What's your name? Christian Barker. Okay.
Okay, that's the only smart person in the room right now. The only smart person in the room is the lawyer.
Cool. How did this all happen?
So
Explain.
this idea got brought to me like months ago, and I was kind of, I don't want to do that. I don't know anything about it, and I've never heard the space is a good place to be. So I was like, I don't know
Bro, she heard about it being a scam, and then she said, oh yeah, let's do this.
about it. Which we trusted the guy that come to us. He was a friend of, I don't know, a friend of a friend, I guess you can put him. That was my biggest mistake.
Yeah,
I probably should have looked.
He was a friend of someone she's probably been a friend with for maybe like a month or 2. I'll tell you that. That's what it is. Because like she just got famous. She didn't know any big people in crypto before that. So it's like unless she is an industry plant like people have claimed, I don't think she is, honestly, anymore. I seriously don't. But it's definitely someone not trustworthy or not vetted enough, known long enough to do anything with.
Looked into him.
we heard a little bit
more.
about him. Apparently, he had like a pretty strong network in LA and kind of used that as leverage to, give himself a vouch. And I think the guy probably more or less overstated his qualifications in executing something like this. Fair to say?
Yes.
Which is usually the case.
Yeah, that's 99% of the time. What happened after that?
Well, really, everything went good, and then I noticed, like, the day of the launch, he was, like, a little weird about it, like, he was pacing around on the porch, and I don't know, it just makes you suspicious. And then we finished a podcast that day, and then I ended up going in that room over there to get on that live, where I was, like, scripted to say this, that, and the other, but put it in my own words. So I done that, and then that's when you got on, and you were asking him questions, and he couldn't answer them, so I was like, okay, something. Wrong. He can't answer a simple question. And then CoffeeZilla got on there. Yeah, scary guy. Let me tell you, don't ever want to have a conversation with him.
We're a little bit more chill. Charitable than coffee. I think coffee kind of has a little bit of disdain for crypto in general. Us, on the other hand, we live and breathe it every day. We want to see crypto succeed. We do it every single day. But coffee definitely, like, you know what I mean? He's definitely asking the right questions. It's the way that he asks them, maybe, is why you guys can't really find a spot to like talk or have like any sort of conversation with each other. But we actually did talk to him. We had a conversation with him, and he gave us some broad questions to share and ask you. They're good questions.
Oh, that scares me if they come from him.
No, don't worry about it. Don't be scared.
He's such a scary guy.
Coffee is a little scary, but it's okay.
He means well, though.
This whole thing is a little scary. Yeah, at the end of the day, he wants to he just wants to see people move the right way. And again, that's the difference between you, Iggy, Trump. Is they just simply did it the right way. There's a whole set of standards and rules that this market follows, and an etiquette that people, respect. And it's just, that's what it is, right?
Well, so that's how it got brought to me. It was supposed to be done the right way. Like, it was going to be good. Like, half the money, it was supposed to go, like, into my charity. That's really why I agreed to do it. Just for the simple fact, putting money into that. It was a way to, like, get all my community gathered up together. It was just, I don't know. it was brought to me in like a positive way, like it was gonna be something good. And long term, but it didn't go that route at all. So it was like a smack in the face.
100% of the time, the pitch is always going to be positive. It's we're the right guys, we're the ones, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I think that's why we're here. Thread, Frank, maybe introduce yourselves and give your.
Yeah. Hey, Frank. Been in crypto for like 4 years. I guess, do we just go to the questions first, or?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like natural.
Well, how much,
conversation.
like, did they offer you money up front? This is what I think the internet always wants to know is, like, do they offer you money up front, part of the tokens? Like, how did that work? Like,
so the deal, I can speak to that. So the deal that she did was like a brand image likeness deal where they paid her $125,000 up front. They were supposed to pay her $200,000 after the launch of the coin within 30 days. She was supposed to have full transparency to tokenomics and everything going on, which they did stay in communication about it, but it just was an ever-evolving game plan, essentially. So back-end participation was to always be mutually agreed, and what they had agreed on in the tokenomics was there was a 10% allocation of the token that would be on a 1-year lock. And then a 3-year drip after that. Of that 10%, half of that was supposed to go to the company that created the project, and half was to go to her. So out of 100% of the token, she would have had 5% at the end. Obviously, she has lawyer, manager, business manager, so even that 5% would have been cut down by over a quarter due to people that she has to pay out on her non-crypto.
So all the structure you just described, what happened to all that?
It's not like it has dissolved. That on launch, 3% of the token was made available for public trading. A lot of this information we found out since the launch. We, as in Hailey's internal non-crypto team, but. %, was given to pre-sale investors, 2/3 of which approximately sold the day of launch. So there is 20% in circulation.
And just to be clear about where you kind of jumped into this, you were telling us in the back room that this kind of all was happening even without you really knowing or having view on any of it until post. You know, you're handling the cleanup and trying to protect Hailey and trying to do right by Hailey now, but you didn't have the opportunity to like.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
I negotiated the contract with the company we have like accounting transparency rules and requirements that I added to the contract. SEC compliance requirements I added into the contract that they would have to do as project manager. And so we continued to inquire all along the process about the tokenomics. It was a kind of a shifting narrative and explanation of tokenomics. The most recent tokenomics that were given to us prior to the launch had the pre-sale investors being on a 1 month lock with a 1 year drip after that. That's pretty obvious on chain that didn't happen. But 80% of the supply is still in control. The dev still controls 80%.
And who are they?
I do not know who the dev is. That was never disclosed to us. All I know is it's a gentleman that's.
So see, the problem with the developing side of like projects like these and products like these is they can do whatever the fuck they want, right? Like they can change this structure that sounds really pretty and nice and fair and honest. They can change it at will, right?
Especially when they control the coins, they control the keys, yeah.
So 80% of the fucking supply, and then they control all the code and stuff, all these locks that sound great again and fair and like it's gonna keep her safe. They can just be turned off right before the thing goes. And that's sounds like more or less is what happened. What would you say?
I think with memes, people in the internet like to feel like a ownership of it, and like the community wants to feel like it's organic. And so by having like a pre-sale, it makes it posting the wallet address beforehand, then you just know snipers are gonna like basically get, which I think a sniper made $1 million right when it went live. These were kind of just like really bad practices for like an organic meme coin. And so yeah, I mean that's honestly like it's
no, those two things specifically. What was the pre-sale structure exactly?
I'm not certain to the structure of the pre-sale. There was a 17% allocation. Most of the pre-sale investors, my understanding is, were based in Asia.
Okay.
And there was again supposed to be a 1 month lock with a 1 year drip after that.
And how much was raised for that 17%?
2.8 million.
I think that's why people were really upset for the most part, Hailey, is that
puts it at like 14, 15.
Yeah, it's like basically when you have a coin where people have a bunch of pre-sale, it means like a bunch of people got this early access to it.
That
so
normal people don't have access to.
That normal people don't have access to. And so I think it's less the problem that there's a coin and more just the way that it was done was really.
And just to articulate to you too,
Yeah.
that is probably never the way to go. It's just not good for the health of the token. But if ever, you should know exactly who holds this token.
Correct.
Like always, like to have that be like a question mark, and like guys in Asia, it's like they're the ones who control now the destiny of this token.
It's like, who are these guys?
They at any moment upon launch, this thing could rip to fucking $100 million, and then they could all just fucking suck all the liquidity out and send it to zero, and then you're again the face of it, you're the name of it, and then you're left in this situation that you've been in.
So when there's a pre-sale, nobody in the United States can buy that, right? Is that how that works?
I'm not necessarily sure.
How does that work?
honestly
I look at it.
It's all kind of great.
Sounds about
Donald
right.
Trump
Yeah,
just
yeah.
dropped a fucking meme coin, so
Yeah.
I don't really. I think we're kind of all in
Yeah.
a situation where we're figuring that stuff
Yeah.
out. I think as a society in real time. It's all. It's
But
all
the
really
pre-sale
gray area.
wasn't made public, right? Like, and so
Yeah,
that is
that's
less
also a
about the
huge
fact
problem.
that there was a pre-sale and more the fact that it was hidden. And I think the biggest thing with like why people were so frustrated is less due to how the price turned out and more because it was very publicly set up like wrong to the people that are really in crypto that do it every day. You could see on like A, B, and C, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong.
And that's why, Hailey, the most important thing far and away for people like you and I in a market like crypto is transparency. It means everything. It's like it has to start and stop there, because then at that point, at least something goes wrong. You know what I mean? This is what I knew. This is what happened. And that's why conversations like these are really, really important. I think, again, I said this before, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this. I think generally, like crypto Twitter, people who do this at a high level, who do this every day, more or less know what happened, because they can go, like Frank, again, we're in that back room. He's looking on chain. He sees it. It tells the whole story. That's the beautiful thing about crypto.
Yeah, I found that out later too.
Yeah. So they more or less can see what happened, and then obviously we've seen this story a million fucking times, right? So we more or less know what happens. The issue for you is the millions and millions of people who farmed views off this and made stories about this and covered it. Your average fan, the average fucking middle America 16-year-old kid who's a fan of you, just sees crypto scam, which is, again, another huge part of the conversation that I'm passionate about, where it's just like crypto already has this bad rap, and it's because of things like this, and it's because the onboarding process is flawed, the barrier to entry is flawed. You probably don't even understand
I
half
don't know
of what's
what that
being
is.
talked about right now. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a real language barrier, and the point is, like, if you have no business in crypto, you probably shouldn't be in crypto. The only
I
thing,
agree.
your introduction to crypto should have been somebody. A finance guy telling you it's probably a good idea for you to DCA 20% of your money indefinitely into Bitcoin because it's just a good investment. And then maybe you know what I mean?
What does DCA mean?
It means
Dollar cost average. Yeah.
yeah, it means just like slowly buying or slowly selling. So it's actually the
Buy like $10 a Bitcoin a day type thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's the best way that I think that you can acquire an asset like Bitcoin, because it's so volatile. It's 100,000 one day and then it's 70,000, then it's 120. Right? It's never hit 120, but if you buy it at a consistent basis, you get the average cost of Bitcoin over the span of whatever. But it's like it's things like that. Obviously, if you're that passionate about your team sees an opportunity, that's okay. I mean, we see opportunities every day in crypto, and that's what anybody that's telling you they're not in crypto to make money is fucking lying to you, right? To a degree, some more than others, and some are more likely to fucking not stand on business and fucking do sketchy weird shit, and some are more passionate about the future of the space like us. But if you're gonna do that, if you're someone like Hailey Welch and you're gonna do that, you need to like be as careful as you can be, and you need to make sure that the people that you're doing this with are like people you can really, really really trust and qualified to do it.
Wiz Khalifa told me not to ever put your name on something you don't fully understand.
It's a really, really awesome piece of advice.
It's great advice.
I agree with
That
him.
was on this show. There's like a clip of that.
Yep.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, that's a
real clip.
That's a great piece of advice.
What's the best piece of advice you'd give to Hailey?
Just like make sure that you like clear everything that's like being done in your name. Like make sure you like it. Like don't let it get crazy. Don't let it get out of fucking whack to the point where it's like, yo, I wouldn't even fucking done that shit.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It sucks that you're having to learn this the hard way, right? But
I feel like I needed to though.
that's
It kind of
great.
opened my eyes a lot.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's fucking. That's honestly how I was introduced to crypto to begin. I can't talk too much about it or names, whatever. But I was
either.
introduced to crypto through something very, very similar. A deal came through the Phase Pipeline, my company that's existed for over a decade. We were public at one point, came through the sales team, and a talent manager brought me this deal that for me, by every measure of my expertise and my perspective on my whole career and how it came up, this was a fucking great deal. This product came to me and said, we want you to be a spokesperson for our product. It's X, Y, and Z. It's in crypto, this cool new technology. And they like you, they like your name. They want you to do basically more or less an ad read every 2 weeks, and they'll pay you $100,000 a year salary.
it's simple.
I'm like, what? Bet. That's a great deal. And also they'll give you whatever it was. I'm making this figure up, but $50,000 in tokens, whatever. I didn't know what that meant. In one ear, out the other. Could give a fuck less about that. $100K a year? Bet. That's awesome. And then upon announcing this and upon me talking about it, they used that moment as exit liquidity. They used my face as exit liquidity. At that point, I got flooded with comments. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? Probably similar, definitely not as severe as your experience and whatever happened. And this was during a different time. This is 2020. I mean, your whole fucking timeline in 2020 was Kim Kardashian and Jake Paul and Mayweather and everybody, because this market took advantage of the fact that our market had so much influence and we had so many eyeballs and such a big audience, but we knew nothing about it, right? So very easy to manipulate us, take advantage of us, use us as exit liquidity, et cetera, et cetera. I used that opportunity. I got investigated by the SEC for fucking like 2 years over this. It cost me way more money than I made. It was one of the most miserable experiences of my life because that moment got me into crypto. So then I started doing things like buying CryptoPunks and buying more Ethereum and Bitcoin, et cetera, and meeting people like this. And I made the conscious decision that I'm never going to allow something like this to happen to me ever again. I'm going to know as much as I need to know about this space to keep myself safe. I'm happy that I did in a weird roundabout way. It was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. Luckily for me, I did meet people who did it the right way, who pushed me in that direction. And I did put, I stood on business and put morals first and did it in an ethical way. And when the SEC did comb through all my shit, I had receipts on it. I had receipts on receipts of me declining deals. Like I was getting offered $500,000 to post an Instagram story to promote an NFT. You know what I mean? And saying no to things like that. So I think probably, they didn't say this explicitly, but I would imagine they see things like that and they're like, okay, this is like an honest act. They dropped everything. I probably could have gotten fined and stuff because is it just the nature of that deal? But yeah, it cost me a fuck ton of money legally and fuck all the money, like mentally. I can only imagine like how you feel. And
It's
just know
draining.
though, I can truly relate to all that. And that's why I agreed to come on the show. That's why I'm personally here.
I saw where you DM me and it was
Yeah.
like in my requests and you
Yeah.
asked if I ran my account.
Yeah.
And what I done, I still confided in the guy that ran my account and I screenshot it. I was like, can I respond to him? Like, he was in the live.
No, don't.
Yeah.
He was like, no, do not text him
It's the
back. I
biggest
was like,
red flag of all everything you've said.
Okay.
Not
this
being
whole
allowed to respond to someone is
is
crazy. Yeah.
wild. especially someone like me, somebody who they know.
Well, I mean, you
I'm
were
a good
nice
faith
when you were on the live, so I was
Of
like, well,
course.
there's nothing wrong with him. I was like, he's a nice guy, and he's just asking if I actually run my account, which the answer is no.
I wish you picked up the phone and called me immediately. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But I've never had
You
Twitter.
guys know too. I'm
downloaded.
sending her fucking paragraphs, bank shit. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to articulate in my little bullet points. I'm sending her pages.
It's like a
and pages
manic
and
essay. Yeah.
pages.
What the fuck is this?
I think that's all the messages I've had. It's like people from crypto.
Yeah.
I think the
Not
worst
very
part
nice.
about it is like I hate that it was just such a negative entrance for you
It was
because crypto is like a really cool place, and it's probably really confusing. A lot of it doesn't make sense, but we like to think of crypto as the money of the internet, and it basically allows you to attach a value to attention. Like memes, like Hawk Tuah, right?
yeah.
And trade and speculate on attention. Is the thing going to get bigger? Is it going to get smaller? And the thing about it is, like, crypto isn't going to go away. It's only going to get bigger.
Yeah.
And it might feel like intimidating to you because of how you were sort of brought onto it. But I think that there is an outcome sort of similar to the bank story, where it's like you have this really negative entrance to the thing, and then little by little you spend time, focus on trying to just piece together as much knowledge as I can around this space. And I think I still think there's some level of vindication to this. Like, I don't know, do you want to talk about what, I don't want to put you on the spot to it, but like, do you want to talk about the idea just to throw it out there on the pod?
We were talking about, I think if you took all of the money that you made from the deal, whatever, and just like bought back the coin and then locked it up, I feel like that's a very like clear action that you can make, back to the community. And I think that would just like stamp it and the community can run with it. So that's like the idea that we were talking about.
As far as
yeah.
narrative goes and a gesture, I mean, you just fucking nailed that, by the way. And that would be, you mentioned it earlier, 125,000. plus 100,000, or what did I hear?
Yeah, so
How much total money has been received due to this?
125,000 has
Been received.
been received.
Yeah. Basically what Frank just said in normal people terms is you take every dollar that you made on this and you mark it by this token and you lock it up. You walk away from it. You don't ever see that money. You can never touch it again. And you say, I'm not going to talk about this every day, whatever, but I'm going to stand on business. I put my face on this. I'm accepting the responsibility that this happened and hopefully, everybody is made whole at some point where you guys do what you want with this at this point. This is me kind of like, you know what I mean? And what that does is it kind of shows your intentions, right? Like I just want to do right by this and everybody who participated in this, etc.
I know you probably feel weird because like I'm sure people said some nasty things to you and you're like, what is this? Who are these people? What is this space? Like,
well, Hailey, I'm not going to sugarcoat it too. Listen, I know I'm sucking my own dick right now, but I think as far as like people who come from our industry, I think I move close to the best. I get comments pretty much on a daily basis calling me a fucking scammer, et cetera, et cetera. There was another situation that happened inside FaZe. It's fucking so annoying, but a group of members launched a token that was like a charity, like had this like charity spin and narrative. It's like the most one of the most crazy things that ever happened in crypto. They all had to get kicked. I had to fucking talk to you think coffee's a little scary? I had to talk to this man every fucking day for like 2 weeks and basically vindicate myself because there's all this speculation. Banks is a crypto guy. He obviously had to have something to do with it. I had to fucking basically open my books up to coffee, and for the Banks had nothing to do with this. FaZe had nothing to do with this, but 5 members of FaZe did. So it'll always be tied back to me. I'll always forever, and you'll probably always forever get comments. You're a fucking scammer, this and that. This is going to make it infinitely more hard for you to work in crypto. But what the suggestion that he just made is far and away the best solve for this in the immediate and in the long term. It's kind of the one, I don't know. It's that was really good.
Because it happened.
With,
yeah.
Her buying in right now with what's on the market is there's 80%.
Yes.
That's not available.
What does that mean?
So obviously we don't want to run into a situation where you do that. You put $250,000 in, because I'll be honest, if you did that, the market's probably going to react in a positive way because it is a great narrative and it is a really genuine gesture. I don't want to fucking guarantee anything, but the token probably fucking rips to that point. It could even get to a point where it rips past all-time high, which for you, I think if the token ever exceeds the highest point it was ever at, I think that's a really comfy spot for you to finally be like, I did what I needed to do and I did right by this product launch in crypto. That's personally me. That's how I would receive it. But that being said, we don't want to be in a position where this fucking token is ripping and these same people who fucked you over that own 80% of it are getting rich in the process, right? Like that cannot happen. So that's the biggest, how do we solve that?
I don't know. I'm scared to touch that coin.
Yeah, the devs that have the 80%.
You should be.
I'm horrified of it.
You should be.
If that's the case, then the devs that have the 80% need to agree to lock it too. And if I don't know if there's interest, I don't know, but
I think probably you guys who we do still have open lines of communication with, who fucking built this thing, I think you aggressively go in contact and communicate the fact that, listen, we as a team have decided that this is probably the best route to go for Hailey, because at the end of the day, your name, your likeness, your brand, your
It's all
50s,
over it.
you're so sweet. Let's fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And fucking, yeah, that we need to figure out that. Maybe, I mean, you guys are probably like the communication between team and you guys right now probably looks pretty aggressive as it is, right? Like lawsuits, I know how it goes, as it should. They fucked you over big time. So maybe even using that as leverage of like, help us make right by this. You need to listen to everything we're about to tell you to do. And you know what I mean? Maybe we don't go fucking as hard legally on it. Yeah, that 80%, that's obviously the biggest hurdle.
So who has that? The 80%.
The dev.
What is
they
dev?
control the 80%. The developer.
Based out of where?
Based out of San Francisco. It's one guy based in San Francisco is my knowledge.
Well, that's better than China.
I don't know who we know the name as to who that is, but the dev is hired by the company that she did the deal with.
Just as far as, by the way, just as far as access goes, San Francisco's up the street.
Okay.
The language barrier, China. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Understood. Yeah, I think that's the next steps, honestly. Yeah. Because the thing is, like, it happened, and it's like on chain, like things always gonna exist. Trump launched a coin. Like, again, I come back to, I just don't think that there's an issue with a meme coin in the world. Like, that's not the problem. It's the pre-sale. It's the fact that the pre-sales got unlocked on day one. It's the fact that he put the wallet address out, so it got sniped. It was just like a pretty poorly executed
What would have been
launch.
the best way she could have executed? Just for everybody watching this and any future, like, because I feel like this will be cited.
The best way to do it would have been not to do it.
I agree. I was just about to say that.
That would be like the
I'm gonna say,
number
don't
one
touch
best
it.
way to do it. And the second best way would be if someone else made it and they sent you, you know, some percent of supply, and then like you're like, all right, you guys can do it, and whatever.
And like the founder of Pump Fund recently, his name's Alon, and their product. You want to talk about what their product does? Just
Well,
real quick.
yeah, there's this thing called Pump Fund where it makes it really easy for anybody to launch a coin, and so people anonymously all over the internet are just like launching coins.
Some people think it's the worst thing ever for crypto. Some people love it. Whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It exists. But my point in bringing that up was the founder of it didn't drop a coin, but somebody else dropped a coin of his name, and he kind of endorsed it.
Yeah.
Like he soft endorsed it. The moment he did that, that became his token. No, he didn't know the team. He didn't know anything. It was just like, okay, this is the one, and then the market decides what to do from there, right? That probably would have
best way to put it is the way that this was structured from everything I've heard so far is like you're trying to make a business almost out of a fucking meme coin. And this is where I think the internet just like hates, right?
Yeah.
In reality, it's like a meme coin that should honestly belong to the internet and the community and whoever's like speculating and trading on it, but it was made into this like venture. And with that venture, now there's all these mouths to feed, all these guys with pre-sale.
Everyone has a hand in it.
so
Everyone has a hand in
complicated.
it, you know, so
complicated. People are expecting things from you, expecting you to execute on things, like expecting a product.
You have deliverables, all
Yeah.
these people to feed.
That's
yeah.
why Trump's engaged the way that he has in his token. He hasn't really talked much about it. He's probably not going to talk a ton about it. It's out there. It's for the market.
please. Yeah.
It's for the
one tweet.
it's for the market. It's for the market to decide. And yeah, the more he talks about it, the more complicated it's going to be, and the more he engages with it and participates in it, the more complicated it's going to be.
Hindsight's obviously 2020, but for future use, the best way to come into a new space and specifically crypto is to to make money from it and launch a coin.
For sure. To invest money into it. That's
The best way would have been like, all right, this crypto thing seems cool. I'm gonna fuck around and throw a little bit of money at Bitcoin and just like maybe go to the conference. Bitcoin.
You're familiar with
Nashville.
Aiden Ross, yeah? You're familiar with Aiden Ross, the streamer?
Sure.
That's so fun.
That's good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sure.
That's awesome. So he's one of the biggest streamers on earth, and he's a dear friend of mine. I would even maybe go as far to consider him a brother to me. We've lived together for 2 years, and I saw his come up and I saw him explode on the scene, and we have very intimate, like, personal conversations. Obviously, he knows that I do crypto on this level, and he's had all these questions for me over the last couple weeks post Trump launch, right? About, can I do this? Should I do that? Luckily for him, you know, he has somebody who he can trust, and you know, we've told him all the same stuff. We're actually going to go visit him this weekend. This probably even comes out after we go visit him, but that's our whole onboarding process with Aiden. It's make a crypto Twitter, follow these accounts, join these communities, learn about it, invest money into Bitcoin, and then maybe pick a couple spots that like speak to you in terms of just who you are and what you're interested in. Because then what that does is you start to extend your network, you start to build a network of people who you can learn from. And that's the biggest thing is entering a space
Pick
like
up pieces
this,
along the way.
yeah, entering a space like this, I'm still fucking retardio when it comes to like this whole crypto thing. But
Me too.
and I've been doing this for 5 years. You know what I mean? I have these guys. I live with these guys. I'm fortunate enough for that. But that being said, I've been in here for 5 years. I could have launched an NFT project last cycle and probably printed 8 figures on it. Safe to say, yeah. And I didn't, right? Because I just knew, the longer term play is to just participate. There's going to be opportunities for all of us because this is where the future is being built, is crypto.
Yeah.
If you're not learning about crypto or AI, I really hope whatever you're doing, you're totally fucking in love with, because everybody else is fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it's at. This is where the future is.
It does make me feel better, like hearing y'all talk, but like y'all know everything. Like I feel like y'all do everything the right way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to
Not
too
everything.
much in that because I thought my guy was doing everything the right way.
Again, not everything. Again,
Valid.
like I said, my entry to crypto was similar. You know what I mean? It was
You had to learn from it though.
for sure, and those are the
And you got a good team with you too. I had a dumbass working for me.
for sure.
What do
Oh,
you guys
bless
think
him.
she should do next?
Again, that best case scenario, dream scenario, Frank's suggestion, unironically, is fucking 10 out of 10 perfect, I think, in my opinion.
I think the reason
So-
he suggested to take the money that you earned and to put it back in the token, one, it probably feels like blood money. I'm not even sure you
It's
want the money.
dirty.
You don't want
It's
that money.
very
That money is
dirty.
gross. Two, it's sort of like you could kind of say anything. Like we could say whatever on this podcast, and apologies are helpful, and it goes some distance. But to actually put the money back in and be like, I didn't make any money from this, and for the people that are down, like this is the best thing I could do to help you, and sort of wipe my hands clean and say that you tried, is definitely number two, the best thing you could do. And I think the third is like, it probably feels really weird and uncomfortable right now, even to be talking. We're these weird guys. We just walked in. We're talking about crypto. We're saying big words. But like your life, especially being this famous person on the internet, will intersect with like the money of the internet, crypto, again at a later point. And you don't want to have this like looming
Dirty ass money.
elephant in the room, like uncomfortable situation. Or maybe you do have a clean, awesome opportunity to like help crypto and do a positive thing, but you're uncomfortable and afraid of it because of like what
I'm horrified
happened.
of it.
Yeah.
Again, what I said as far as how the response from the general community, and just there are going to be people who only saw the bad part of it and never gave a fuck enough to like explore what
into
actually
it.
happened, right? So you're going to see comments for the rest of time about this.
I still see Logan Paul getting comments all the time. about
100%.
it.
I mean, again, like I said,
But what did Logan Paul do? He paid him back.
Yeah, I mean, he had to make it right? And yeah, I don't know. It's at least when you see these comments in your own mind, you'll know that you made your best effort, and you'll know that your conscience is clear on it. And comments for the rest of time about this, like
I still see Logan
how
Paul
important
getting
I
comments
feel
all
like
the
that.
time.
If you have a
100%, I
soul,
mean,
which you feel like
again,
you have a
like
lot
I
of
said,
But
soul.
what did Logan Paul do?
I got a
Yeah,
soul, I
yeah,
reckon.
it feels like you do. I reckon. Oh,
I reckon. And I know there's a lot of legal stuff. I don't even know what has to get figured out in the background, but let
It's
it be
a mess.
known it was Frank Degod's suggestion. I think it's the best one.
no, I think so too. And I don't want anybody.
I unironically, I don't like anyone here, but I blah 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 blah. I unironically think that his suggestion was a great idea if they can make it happen. If he can come in and they either take legal action to get the coin back, or they buy it for some disclosed amount, because I'm sure she's got money outside of the crypto. I'm sure merch money especially, and all the other ways she's licensed her likeness, like the different apps and stuff. I don't think it's a terrible idea to go in and collect the amount that the devs are holding.
To misconstrue any of this as like us fucking like letting you off the hook, or like pretending like nothing was done wrong. You definitely did a lot of things wrong here, most things wrong here, but in our opinion, there is a way to fix it. I think that's the next steps. I think focusing hard on fixing it above all else. Fuck all the legal shit. Fuck any partners that led her to slaughter on this. Like, with all due respect, fuck all those people.
Word.
And get to a place where you can feel good about where things are at, and maybe even get to a place where the market feels good about where things are at. That would be obviously ideal. So hard focusing on that. the whole conversation we've had with you guys have been very forthcoming. Even you coming on the show, numbers, being transparent, off camera.
Well, we don't have nothing to hide.
No.
The only guy I like in all this is the lawyer. The lawyer is the only guy that's made any sense so far.
Oh, that's how it needs to be, right? Like that's the whole point.
Do you have any other questions?
How's Pookie doing?
Pookie lost money in it too.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
Pookie, poor Pookie.
He said, "How are you gonna take my money?" I said, "I didn't do it."
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad.
He still gives me shit about it all the time. He's like, "Yeah, I wish I had my." Can I say how much?
Yeah.
I wish I had my $300 back. I was like, "Well."
That's funny.
Yeah, me too.
Did you put money in it
No, I'm
too?
joking.
Oh, that's
I
what
think we
I
all
apologize.
think
We definitely did it. We definitely did it.
I got one more question. Are those real screws in your ears?
No, they're not. There's a little bar between.
I thought those were so fucking cool.
You like 'em?
I looked over, I was like, those gotta be real screws.
Yeah, shout out Christian Stark. He made these for me.
I feel like it wouldn't be an episode of Talk Tuah if I didn't ask my last question. Do I ask it 3 times?
Just ask it.
I'll go around the room. What's one move in bed that makes a woman go crazy?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Why are we asking this? Why are we asking this on after you've made people lose so much money? Like, what? Why? I know someone definitely threw $1 million into Talk Tuah and lost a bunch, and then they go and sit down and watch this and want to know, like, want to get some answers, and this is the final question.
I had to hit you with the final question.
Frank, what's your answer?
No, you gotta go first.
The Hawk Tuah.
I'll go last. It's the forehead kiss, nose kiss. Kiss
There you
each one of
go.
their eyeballs. Tell them they're sweet. Turn their head. You have amazing bone structure. You have a beautiful side profile. Squeeze them. Tell them you love them. And then, then you can have.
There you go. He said,
I just watch Ricky and do whatever he does.
I'm the Osama bin Laden of love bombing.
Okay.
We can cut that. We can cut that. It's been a pleasure to meet you. You really are a sweetheart. And we're here now. So you have my number.
thank
Hit
you.
me up for anything. This is a wacky world you found yourself in.
"You're not
A
kidding."
fun one though.
And it's only going to get crazier. And it's very, very important, not even just in crypto, that you have people in your.
And I agree. I think she is a sweet girl, and I think she has a good personality. The issue is she is just surrounding herself with terrible people and tried to throw herself at everything possible. This is like a masterclass of what not to do when you get famous.
in your life that you can lean on and ask for advice to. And I play that role for a lot of people in this industry, and it's what I'm most passionate about. Peace, love, and Hailey Welch. Hawk Tuah. I love you.
I love you.
Cool.
Okay. So that is the end of that. Was there any questions answered? I don't think so. I think the only thing that got explained is that she was extremely ignorant going into this. She's not some mastermind who was playing dumb to steal all this money, and she doesn't have any of the money. She's just dumb. She just allowed for all this to happen. As far as like the developer goes, they're scumbags. I think they tried to explain in here that they were being transparent but that's like in the contract with the lawyer. The lawyer had to put that in the contract to make sure they did that. So, will any of these people get their money back? I don't know. If this was an actual uploaded thing, if this was an actual uploaded episode of the Talk Tuah podcast, then I think there's a high chance, honestly. I think there would be a big chance of her coming in and buying the coin and taking control of it. And then it may be actually becoming successful over time if she learned how to use it properly. But in its current state, this is a leaked episode, meaning I don't think this actually happened, or any of this stuff that they talked about in this podcast came to fruition, you know? So I think people continue to stay screwed, honestly. At least they always got little Hawk Tuah to think about in their mind when they look at their bank account and all that money's gone. They can just think about how funny Hawk Tuah was. And then they can go to bed. But yeah, that's all we're going to talk about for the Hailey Welch situation. But we are going to get into our next topic, which is Miss Pokimane, because she has been saying some stuff. She's been saying some stuff. And I will preference before I get into this, I legit cannot find the clip that is being reported on this where she said this. But basically, Pokimane, famous female Twitch streamer, talked about how there's not enough female streamers out there that are as big as people like Kai or Speed or something. And I think she's right. I agree with that. But at the same time, she's getting a lot of backlash from other people and saying like, oh, you know, what about these people that you're not counting that are women, like Iron Mouse and other VTubers? And then there's people just getting mad and being like, oh, you're sexist. You want to start a gender war or something like that. Which dumb, stupid. But I can't find the clip of her talking about this. The only thing I was able to find was Asmongold. So unfortunately, we're going to be watching an Asmongold video discussing this. I don't know if we'll watch through all of this. I'm definitely probably going to be disputing some of the stuff he mentions in here, but I'm also going to be agreeing with some of the stuff he mentions in here, because I do think there are some things that Pokimane has said that may, you know, have solid arguments against them. So let's go ahead and get into Asmongold.
The ranges I can confirm are like 1 to 20 million.
Wow.
Anything beyond that, I'm like, I've seen certain headlines, but I cannot confirm.
Yeah, there was a headline about XQC getting $100 million.
Yeah, but I've heard different things behind the scenes. You also don't know, oh, is part of that 100 million like equity?
Bro, I think they're still pushing that. Man, I honestly, I don't get it much. I don't get it much. It is what it is.
Bro, I cannot understand what XQC ever says. I did not comprehend a single word that was just said right now.
I think true. I'm not sure what he said, but true.
Yeah.
Paid in different ways. Was it actually 100 or was it just a headline that makes everybody look good so nobody refutes it? I really cannot confirm or deny.
But you can confirm you've seen between $1 and $20 million of those exclusive contracts.
Which is freaking insane. And also, I'm talking about contracts.
So basically, what you're saying is that the Ninja 40 mil is also fake then. Surely, right? Because Ninja
was never stated 40 million.
Was that what, 40 mil? I think, or 30? So I'm guessing this is also fake. He probably had some equity or some peanuts. What did he have? What else? What did he have? Oh, because if 20 mil is the bar, you never heard about 40 mil. I thought everybody heard 30 mil. No.
That get renewed maybe once, maybe twice.
Whoa.
So like additive.
Yeah, those were incredible.
I'm just saying. She's something behind the scenes. I am just wondering what that is. Like what does behind the scenes mean? Eddie is extremely. He's very under wraps, very behind the scenes. The guy doesn't talk to anybody. The contract was between me, my agent, and Eddie, right? My agent.
I only comprehend like every 4 out of 5 words he's saying right now, dog.
Decided to leak it after some big fucking press release or some shit like that. I don't know what they did, but they did it anyway. Shit got leaked through the cracks or whatever, right? There's no, but like, it's kind of hard. Well, I'm just saying, it's kind of hard. It's kind of crazy that like the system is like this: me, agency, Eddie, working like this, then
It's the Illuminati, by the way.
agency, like leaks information, and then that's what the people know, right? That's people. That's how the information went. I'm just confused on how like Pokimane over here, her thing behind the scenes, Like that's different. Like who is like the behind the scenes? Like who is any of these people? I don't get it. Who is saying what? It's kind of it's just.
I think people talk. A lot of people talk, but it's hard to know who's right and who's not, and who's making up bullshit and who's not making up bullshit. That's what I think it really is. But I think that a lot of them made a lot of money. It makes sense. Of course they did.
It's common language. People say.
I mean, yeah, that's just like, that's anything. That's like all entertainment. That's just not the creator economy or streamers or anything. That is everyone out there. The deals are now. You look at like someone like LeBron James and his contract and his agent, Rich Paul. Like, right? That's his name, Rich Paul. He makes a ton of money as an agent. So you already know like LeBron James's contracts are not all going to him. Like, why are we having conversations about this as if all the money goes directly to the streamer, or like anything possibly reported can be true, unless you are having to like publicly release your taxes or something. I don't understand why this is like a massive factor even. Like, I think Pokimane's right. Just say it how it is. Like, hey, I am not getting all of the money that was like proposed here in this contract, and I'm not going to share how much I made. But like, you know, it's that way with any deal possible. Like it's like, it seems like XQC here's his name mentioned and like his deal and how much money it was reported on it, and he just immediately goes into defense mode.
I was say behind the scenes. What they mean is, oh, you mean it's the exact opposite. It's that some of the public was saying, oh, dude, maybe it's equity, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and people will say some things, and then that's behind the scenes talk, bro. That's not like some. I'm just saying that's not like some scientific like infiltrator data mining or something like that.
XQC is right that it's a rumor. She's basically repeating a rumor. She probably doesn't actually know.
Bro, that's literally like public speculation.
But that's her point, right? That is her whole point, is that, hey, these things are just out there and we're not confident in what is being reported.
Yeah.
Don't say that public speculation is behind the scenes talk. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's I mean, am I crazy?
How do you understand them?
Who says that?
It is what it is.
To watch. I'm sure like to be a part of that was pretty amazing.
And I feel like I lucked out so much. I remember when I got an offer from Twitch or even YouTube, I was like, you guys are going to pay me more to do what I was going to do anyways?
You're like, you know I like this stuff, right? Like, I like what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I felt so lucky, and also because it's something that really only happens in an industry at a specific time and period of growth in that industry.
It'll happen again. People said it wouldn't.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'd love for it to happen again. I don't know. Like, it would be great for it to. You know, great for the economy. But I simply, from everything I've seen, it's not bringing in the money yet that it would be. And if it does come back, it's going to be specifically with like a Kai or a Speed or someone who can bring in 1 million viewers, like peak at 1 million viewers. It's not going to be a large amount of creators that get these exclusive contracts because it just simply does not bring in the money the same way other things would. The way that, you know, YouTube will post movies on their website, or the way that they can create a new feature like Shorts that millions of people are going to be posting on. I genuinely don't see the value in it for a hosting company compared to just on a streamer by streamer basis.
Wouldn't happen again after the Mixer thing, then it happened again. The reason why I didn't take the deals myself is because they wanted me to run a bunch of ads, and I didn't want to run a bunch of ads. Like, that's the only real reason I didn't take the deal. Like, it's just annoying. I didn't think it'd be good for my brand. It'd be like, because like, I look at my career as something that I'm going to be doing in 30 years. So, like, why would I make a decision now to do something that could negatively affect me and my trajectory for, like, the next 10 years? It's that simple. That's the way I see it. Now, everybody's going to have their own, like, not everybody wants to do what I want to do. And probably 30 years is inaccurate, probably 50, right? Unless somebody shoots me or something like that, or, you know, I like have a heart attack. Yeah, I'll always be doing it. So there's not really going to be a reason for me to stop. So yeah, of course, streaming at 84. Yeah, if I could, for sure.
Are we going to keep seeing exclusive Spotify deals? Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
Just like we're not really seeing more exclusive streaming deals.
I agree with that. I don't think we're gonna see stuff like, because it's bad for the industry, right? It is bad for the streamer specifically. I've seen it with Ludwig. Ludwig went back to Twitch after being exclusive with YouTube. I think he's multi-streaming now, and I've heard a lot of streamers say it's best to multi-stream. It is the most profitable, the best way to reach all the viewers, and it's the same way with an artist, like on Spotify or Apple Music or something. It's like, you don't want to alienate your audience by only being on Apple Music. Oh, I've got Spotify, I can't listen to you. Like, people don't make that jump. But they might make that jump a bit more for free platforms like YouTube and Twitch, where it's ran on ads instead of subscriptions. But even then, it's like on Twitch, you have to pay for a subscription to like bypass the ads. And then you got to pay for the YouTube Premium to bypass the YouTube ads. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. But my stance right now is it's not coming back.
So I was just like, God damn, I lucked out.
I know what the people want. Like, do they want like some official like bank stamped like wire like pay slip or something like that? Do they want like a monthly pay slip? I mean, that's whatever. I mean, people already know how much it is, like for the 2 years, whatever. I mean, what do I have to show pay slip and then what?
Didn't I just say it's
I
fake?
want some guarantee that if I show a pay slip, then this fucking misinformation like bullshit stops.
Who cares?
That's all I want. Because
Who cares?
One pay slip, and then
I think here's the reality. I don't think XQC should be. I feel like he's kind of like insecure about people downplaying his success. I feel like
he 100% is, because he's still talking about it. We've moved on to talking about like exclusive contracts, and he's still sitting here upset about the deal she mentioned.
XQC had like an insane, like, I remember from like, I would say like 2019 to like 2023, especially when he went to Kick. Like, the reason, you have to keep in mind, like, the reason why XQC got paid all that money to go to Kick and why it was such a big deal is because he was the biggest streamer on the platform. And it was not even close, right? Especially for, like, the amount of hours that he streamed. Like, I would get, like, close to about the same amount of viewers that he would in a lot of cases. But the difference is that he would stream 4 times as much as I did. And he had a much more dedicated community. And so he brought over all of those people to Kick. And I think that out of all the people that Kick invested in, XQC was probably the best investment. He was.
we saw the dog should have that.
Yeah.
Well, they removed the goalpost.
What did he say?
Because last time, I quite literally said, I will sign any NDA to anybody that's a big creator.
He did
If
say
they want
that.
to report on it,
Yes, XQC did say this.
I will show them the part.
So what he actually said, I remember the context about this, is that I think he was actually even accused by Pokimane before. I don't remember this, so maybe not. But he was accused by somebody, I believe it was her, that in his contract to go to Kick, that it required him to gamble. And he said that if you sign an NDA, you can tell people whether that's true or not, and I'll let you read the contract yourself.
That's
so he
wild.
said that.
Deal that they want to see, right? So they see that there's 1, no equity, and 2, no gambling. I will, any big streamer that wants to sign an NDA, I will NDA them into the contract so that they can see the parts and allow them to report legally those 2 parts. Why NDA? Because I mean, I don't want them to like the whole fucking thing. Like what?
Yeah.
Brother, can I be honest with you? I think she speaks a lot about deals, and I actually challenge her. I hope. What about if Pokimane does this? How about you leak the deal that you had, your legacy deal from way back in the days, and the more.
But like, I don't get the point. Like, I think his ego's just hurt, dog. Like that. her whole point is like we don't really know the numbers. It's somewhere out there, and it's a great opportunity. And like there's also rumors about other people's contracts. But I think the second he heard like, oh, he might have got paid less than what was reported, he just took a big ego hit, and now he's like, oh, release your bank statements. She never talked about any of that. Like, what is wrong with you?
Or the more recent one. I bet you leaked those two deals, and we could kind of maybe compare or think about what those entail, because well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Pokimane is from way back in the days. She has a very like long-term brand. She had a long career. She had contracts before, but we never heard about those. We never got to hear about it, right? So I'm not. How am I mad?
A bunch of people got contracts. Like a lot of my friends got contracts, and a lot of people maybe you guys don't even know had contracts. Like there's some people that I know had contracts, but they didn't say it because it was like basically it's complicated, right? But it was nothing misleading or deceiving. It was just that they weren't made public. As I said, I never pursued a contract like that because I didn't like feeling committed to streaming. Like to me, freedom in my life is the most important thing, and there is not a dollar amount that you could put on that number.
Oh, I would sign a contract so hard right now. I would stream for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. Give me that contract. I mean, as long as, like, hold on. I will do that for 5 days a week. Give me 2 days off. I will do 12 hours streaming every day. But give me 2 days off so I can make other content.
That would be worth it to me. So the freedom to say yes or no, to do what I want to do or not do what I want to do, to say what I want to say or not say what I want to say, that is more valuable to me than any amount of money. And so, like, that's why I didn't sign a contract and I didn't do it, right? It was that and the ads. And so even $1 billion, no, I don't need $1 billion. Why would I need $1 billion?
See, why does Asmongold defend Elon Musk and all these billionaires so much? Of like, oh, they've earned it. They need I got to protect them and everything. And then he'll turn around and be like, why would I need $1 billion?
And also it depends on like what it would be, right? Is it's like $1 billion to go to like a gas station one day? Yeah, I would do that. I feel like I could compromise there. But in a general sense, on a long-term perspective, absolutely not. Flex on them hoes? It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, if I had $1 billion, like, what would that change in my life? Nothing. Like, what would I mean, I guess I could probably invest and, like, use the money to, like, do different things. Like, yeah, that would be kind of interesting. But, like, I can also use influence and, like, use my insight now to do that anyway. And so, and then work with other people that have more capital. So it's not a big deal.
I'm just saying. There's some energy about contracts and some talks about it, right? But a lot of people kind of hide behind the deals that they had and that they got, right? And I think sometimes it's kind of interesting to hear about it.
Okay. I think that it is weird that a lot of people do try to downplay XQC because I feel like he was, definitely like really, really popular. And apparently Pokimane said that unfortunately, there aren't that many huge female streamers, at least not on Kai and Speed's level. Pokimane says that streaming scene is becoming more male-dominated. The funny thing is that she's actually right. And the reason why she's right is because...
Wow, Asmongold's right. That's awesome.
Women don't watch streams. So the problem is that...
No. No.
Because a lot of guys are watching streams, you have a lot of people that are watching streams for a male. What do men see value in with other men? Being funny, intelligence, relatability, being able to be like, yeah, this guy would be my friend. Sure, humor, confidence, they just like you, right? And so it's like,
Does Asmongold know what women do? Does Asmongold know the media consumption habits of women? What does he think they just don't use the internet? Right? What? Brother, Oprah is a billionaire based on women watching. You what? Bro said women don't watch media. That's the problem.
Would this person be my friend? If you're a guy and you're watching a female streamer, there is a reason why almost every single female streamer, if you look at her clips,
Don't say
now
it.
they
Don't
delete
say
them,
it.
so it's not the case. But back in the day, every female streamer, her most popular clips would always be
Don't
her
say
getting
it.
up or sitting down. Because most of the people that are watching these girl streamers are guys that are lonely that want these girls to give them attention. That's the reason.
Yes and no. There's a specific type of streamer for that. There are streamers who are I'll give you one. Someone who has actually specifically mentioned me before. Sup Caitlin. Her entire brand is centered around catering to those men and helping those men that feel lonely. And there are a million different copy and paste like her. The people that we're discussing in this context are the top streamers. Sup Caitlin cannot be a top streamer on doing just that alone. You know, Pokimane, Valkyrie, Iron Mouse, they do stuff far beyond that. And that is also why they have a pretty solid female audience. Caroline Kwan, Cutie Cinderella. These are people that bring in strong female audiences and are not catering to men sexualizing them. I don't know why that's so hard to understand.
And it's because it's a male-dominated space. So if you want to have big female streamers and you want to have content creators that are female, that are the size of Kai or Speed, what you need to do is you need to introduce more women into the live streaming environment. Because currently the content for that and like the narrow expectation that men...
I agree on that end. I agree to introduce more women to watching streams. But I don't agree on this is the only thing that currently exists in streaming. That is just not true. And that is proven by who the top ones are on the platform already. It's just simply, okay, actually, I'll give you a great example. Extra Emily. Extra Emily goes out and does great IRL streams and is great to watch and mostly is not sexualized at all whatsoever. And I think she is the perfect example of someone who's breaking the boundaries on Twitch and doing Kai and Speed level stuff. And she's just not gaining the following they are. One, because I think that's a man's problem. You know, to be a top streamer, you need men and women watching you, not just women. I don't know why we're trying to separate this by genders and say, oh, only men can watch men streamers and only women cannot watch women streamers. That's not true. But also, I would say, you know, she's someone that does something very similar to Speed, maybe not at an international level, but does great IRL streams that are very entertaining to watch. But I feel like men come in and are like, oh, I don't want to watch a girl do this. I just want to see her be sexualized. Okay? And this girl's not sexualizing herself enough. And that is the problem. The men audience is the problem. Not that I do agree it'd be great to bring more women viewership onto the platform. You know, I think it's an opportunity to grow the platform. But I don't think it is entirely that's the issue why there's no women that are at the streaming level of Kai and Speed, you know?
Men are looking for girls that are pretty. You can look at the top 100 male streamers and you're going to see a few Quasimodos. You can
looking at one. Looking at one right now.
look at the top 100 female streamers and you're not going to see a single one that's below a 6. Every single one.
Iron Mouse has never shown her face before. Just saying. Just saying. She's above Kai and Speed at times. Never showed her face.
One of them's going to be attractive. That's just the truth. And so, and the reason why also is because, what do you call it? The reason why, it's very simple. Give me 1 second. The reason why is because there are simply more people on there.
I just saw someone in the chat say Fan is ugly. Are you insane, dog? Are you crazy? I know you're trying to disprove Asmongold's point, which is a great thing to do, but like, don't bring down Fan in the process. What's wrong with you?
There that are looking for that type of content, and we need funny ones. Well, it's not even being funny. That's the thing. Is that even like guys are not watching?
Yes, it is. It is. I used Extra Emily as the example. She's very funny and she's very great. Guys need to be watching her. They're not, because she won't sexualize herself. That is the problem, is the male audience. Not that we don't have enough female audience on the platform. That is what is sustaining her viewers.
Girls for them to be funny. Guys are watching girls for a girlfriend experience. That's it. That's the reason. Pokey's right. VTubers aren't.
It's just Asmongold's very close-minded in a very broad audience of things. Why is he trying to relate everything to what he does personally when he watches? Like, no, dog. I actually watch these streamers because they're entertaining, not because I want to have sex with them. Like, calm down. What?
Emails were all men with voice changers. Yeah, and that's what's kind of crazy about this is that if you look at the graphs and everything with VTubers especially, you'll see that there are a lot of VTubers, especially Hollow Live VTubers, that are, take a look at this. Plenty of women watch. Yeah, look at this here. So this is a girl by peak viewers. So if we take a look at this, this is a girl named Miko. I don't know who these people are in a lot of cases. So this is, Fauna. That's like my main character in, what do you call it? She's the one that throws the leaves in Hollow Cure. And this is their peak viewers, right? Corone, she was also, I think, in Hollow Cure too. She had like a sword or something. And then Pecora, these are all 100K streams, right? This is a lot of fucking people. Like even like, and this is all primarily on YouTube as well. And there you fucking go. That's a massive amount of people that are being watched. But V2,
I think that's just a different watching habit, honestly. Like you mentioned, they're all on YouTube. That's just like a completely different watching habit. And also, these are peak viewers, not average viewers. I think average is much more important to take a look at. But with that being said, we got to take a look at the Twitch issue here. You know, when we take a look at people who stream on Twitch, what is the top streamers there, and what are the top American streamers? I think the American culture also is very important in all this.
VTubing is becoming a lot more popular. Now, the reason why VTubing, I think, is becoming a lot more popular is that, number one, is that it removes a lot of the physical element, and it makes it to where, this might sound kind of weird, but it's a weird thing where anime girls appeal to girls and guys, but actual girls usually just appeal to girls or guys, if that makes sense. Because if there's like a girl that's like very sexual.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to make the point I made earlier, except that's not a streamer problem. That's a men's problem. You know, you're saying like, oh, girls that have a primary girl audience, it's because they're doing girly things. No, some of them are just entertaining, and like the men just don't find them attractive enough or want to sexualize them enough.
Or she's super attractive, you're going to have like a lot of like hater girl energy against her. And you see this, right? It's like mean girl behavior, etc. But the cute anime girls can capture both sides of the audience without anyone feeling insecure. So you can have guys that can imagine themselves as being in a relationship with this anime girl. I know.
Is he saying that girls won't watch hot girls because they'll feel insecure? Brother, why does anybody watch Catching Up with the Kardashians then? What? The logic here, I don't get it. It's just all fueled by sexism. It has
like who would ever do that? And then on top of that, you could also have girls that are like, oh, this character's really cute and I like it. I think the best example is like Hatsune Miku, or like another example where like a lot of girls like to copy it. And so it's diabolical. It's mental illness. Well, I'm just saying, like, this is just how it is. And so that's why VTubing is so popular, is because VTubing is a form of streaming that females can get involved with that allows them to capitalize on both markets. It allows them to capitalize on male markets because of the same simp male viewers, and also female markets because you avoid the like the female mean girls effect. Like, I don't think that there's a single attractive female streamer on Twitch that I haven't heard other girls sneak dissing and saying negative shit about. And it's really kind of weird. Nobody hates attractive women more than
That's how everything works, though. Do you not see how offended XQC got earlier, and how often he sneak disses people? That doesn't have anything to do with just women and looks and stuff, and unless you only have a sexist viewpoint.
other women. That's a fucking fact. And if you've been around anybody like that, you've seen this happen, that is so fucking true. And so that's really the reason why. And also, like, what women do in order to like get male viewers is going to be different than what women would do to get female viewers if they're real women. But with VTubing, it's a little bit of the similar thing. And so, yes, you can look at this most popular female streamers by top streams. Now, to be fair, I think Emeru's like a fucking, what was it, a Halloween party, not Halloween, Chinese New Year party would be right here, right? It'd been between 94 and 48K because it had like 50-something thousand viewers. So Emmy would definitely be up there as well. Same as like there's Genji, and I don't know who this person is, Alandrissa. I'm not sure. So it's not like nobody, there are no female popular streamers that are women, but it's just a lot harder to do. And I think VTubing is what's going to be very popular. And I think it's going to continue to become popular. And here's another reason.
Get rid of the times. We don't like real women anymore. What, you mean these virtual women go online and make money and I have to spend 3 hours putting makeup on? Yep. Get over it, whore. Your days are over. Your womb is drying up. My womb is eternal.
This is so weird. I don't like VTubers. I'll be honest. I appreciate like Iron Mouse. I think she's great, and everything I've seen of her and her story, it's awesome. But I think like there's a lot of like there's weirdness in this space, and specifically this is there's a high chance there's a man behind that account. Like, I don't know who this is or what it is, but it's just like it gets into that anonymity point where you can go and just say whatever you want and just be an awful person, which is just literally, it's like owning a anonymous Twitter account at that point.
She's right. She is. She's right. And so, creepy. I know you might think it's creepy. You might think she's weird, etc. That's totally fine. You have whatever opinion you want, but she's right. And so anyway, Gargara is performing for the Dodgers last year. Yep, there you have another one right there. And then it wasn't just her. I think it was also, oh God, it was also Pecora and Suisse as well, who did the same thing. I remember seeing this like maybe a year ago or something like that. And yeah, this is it. And also like Suisse and Pecora, yeah, you of course I remember all of it, obviously. And so anyway, so yeah, it's been exactly like a year. Yeah, and so it's gonna be all AI girls soon. Definitely play the Gura clip. I've never even seen the clip. I don't even know where I would find it. But anyway, a lot of people are being negative about this, and I think Pokimane is right that it's harder for female streamers to gain popularity. But I think the big reason for that is simply because female streamers are either appealing to men or women, and the live streaming space is very much.
But it doesn't have to be that way. That's the point. I think the issue here is the male audience and what they're demanding, and not the. I usually say, you know, if you want to be successful, you've got to do what your audience wants. But I think in this scenario, I think especially in the Twitch community, the male audience has been conditioned based on issues in the past with hot tub streams and all this other BS to where they won't watch a woman unless it's to sexualize them. And women that are extremely entertaining on the platform hurt viewership from that. They could be peaking above, honestly, Kai and Speed at points, if it wasn't for this expectation of sexualization that is turning them away. And that's a male viewership problem that you need to condition yourself to. You know, I used to, personally, I will say this, I had my own little bits of sexism when it comes to media consumption in the past, where I didn't want to listen to female artists, or I didn't want to watch female streamers or female content creators or anything. I was like, that doesn't really connect to me. And then finally, I was like, I'll just give it a shot. And I started to enjoy it. I started to like it. And now I will watch full streams of female content creators out there who are great, entertaining, and don't sexualize themselves at all. And it's awesome. Fan is great content creator. Extra Emily, amazing content creator. Cutie Cinderella, awesome content creator. I don't see why we need to require these girls to sexualize themselves when we can't just enjoy the content they're already creating that is above and beyond something like Asmongold. I will be frank about that.
Much male dominated, and it's male dominated in terms of viewers primarily. Like almost all viewers that are on Twitch, like I would say Twitch is probably like an 80-20, where like it's male to female viewers. Like for every, I don't know, like maybe for every 4 or 5 guys, there's like 1 girl. And even that might be an overstatement. Yeah, 90-10, you think so? I don't know. And real females are boring, sorry. I don't agree with you, but a lot of other people do.
I don't agree with you, but I gotta kind of cater to my racist, sexist audience here a little bit, and oh boy.
And so that's it. A lot of other people do, yeah. So that's all there is to you. There's two.
Gotta validate.
You're telling me there's 10K girls.
Gotta validate the issue I was just literally talking about, where I was literally saying this is the problem with the male audience, and instead of Asman addressing that to a massive male audience that could be very supportive of these women, he's going to turn around and say, no, we got to trash them. You know, we got to throw away real women, or actually, I can't actually say that. So let me nudge you in that direction, you know?
On this stream? No, my viewership is actually, I don't know how this has happened. I feel like I've made a lot more incel content in the last 2 years, but somehow my female viewership has actually gone up. It's gone all the way up because it used to be at 99.
Because there's just more females. There's more women coming on to the platform and watching videos. They may be being pulled on by female streamers or just like people that are not like you, that can be a bit more inviting, and then they just find their way around from that. And on top of that, I think it's also becoming wildly more popular for conservative women to exist, trad women to exist, and people to lean into these ideas of kind of being fake trad women, because you're also like online instead of in the kitchen. But you know, we won't get into that.
9% male, and now it's like all the way down to like 96% male. That's you think about that. That's way more girls. That's a lot more. Oh my God. And girls are becoming masochists. We did it, boys. Maybe, yeah. Those are all the hate watchers. You know what? That's what makes sense. Yeah, those have got to be all the hate watchers. And anyway, so yeah, that's the reason why. And also Kai and Speed, you've got to understand, like, these guys are really entertaining. Now, you might not think that they're entertaining, but these guys are great. Like, they really put a lot of work into it. And there are no other girls, really, that are putting the amount of work into their streams that Kai...
It's not true. I mean, I literally just meant Extra Emily is doing like the same level IRL. She's not bringing on the superstar guests like Kai is. No one has that reach. Kai, he's alone in that category. But like, I'd say she's doing the level Speed is at. The only thing holding her back is there's not enough audience to financially support the content going further and further. That is the issue. I could 100% see Extra Emily doing a ton of international streams the same way Speed does. But her issue is that she just doesn't have as big of an audience and as big of a financial backing to be able to do that.
And Speed are putting in. There's not. They're not making the moves that these guys are making. So it's like whenever you're not trying to win the race, don't be surprised when other people win the race instead of you. That's it. They bring the hype. Yes, exactly, right? That's just how it is. And working, I mean, it's the same as you work with like farming an item in a game, right? It's like you're actively applying effort to an activity. I don't want to argue with you whether streaming is work or not. Nobody gives a shit. But that's the way I see it. Don't VTubers consistently reach similar numbers as these guys, or do they not count? I think that Kai and Speed are more popular than VTubers, and I think especially Speed is. But at the same time, there are a lot of VTubers that are a lot closer. I think that the most popular female streamers are VTubers, and I think that that will continue to be the case for quite a while. Just my 5 cents. Pokimane is right. Yep, she is. And there you go. And this is all for watch time right here as well. And you can see basically all guys. Pretty much every single person's a guy here. Of no surprise to anybody, but there it is. And Summit 1G, is Summit on there? Yes, he is. He's right underneath me, actually. And yeah, there you go. And that's been 10 years, bro. This guy's he's been farming for years. And yeah, I'm glad to see this. But
¡No mames inglés! Las frutas. ¡Las frutas! Naranja. Cerezas.
people love this shit. They do. They love it. You might not love it. That's fine. But they do. Man, most watched female streamers. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And it's crazy how popular YouTube is and how popular VTubing is on YouTube. So, yeah, it's very weird.
I agree with it.
People like Shy
that's like what I was trying to mention earlier was, you know, it's like, it's a culture with YouTube, with VTubers, with Gotcha. You know, that's what a lot of people ended up following me for eventually, is they wanted to learn. I was showing how to video edit on a specific app that I think the Gotcha community uses a lot. And I ended up building my initial following through them, even though I don't touch that content at all. But it's like, it's something with the YouTube community where they're into the VTubers, to the Gotcha content and all that.
Now, Shy Lily. So there's a website called Character AI. Okay.
Oh boy. All right. He's just going to look at AI for the rest of this. So, yeah, once again, I mean, fundamentally, I think me and Asman like agree on some points, but the method behind it or the reasoning behind it is completely disconnected in figuring out what the problem is exactly and what Pokey's point probably was and all of that. But I guess my real final thoughts on it, my real final thoughts is that there should be more women doing outlandish, crazy, high production streams, especially on Twitch specifically. However, I think it's a chicken the egg argument, because you've got people already doing that, like Extra Emily, but you don't have the massive audience behind it, funding it to be able to expand more. You know, there's not more money going into it, like for Extra Emily to go IRL and be like Speed, or there's nobody, Valkyrie or Pokey or somebody, to bring on super high star guest. And I think they're kind of getting there. You know, I know Valkyrie is bringing on like pretty high profile people onto her podcast and everything. I'd love to see like that move into like the streaming style as well. Maybe I don't know. It's like Kai's a big mixed bag of different content. So it's like I don't think anyone can fully replicate exactly what he does and still get that exact audience. But I think another issue is just the male audience is refusing to watch the females unless they're extremely sexually attracted to them. So you do have this high quality content out there on these levels of Kai and Speed. They're just not being watched because the male audience is refusing to watch them unless they, you know, show boobs and ass the whole time. So I think that's the biggest problem right now, and I think that's the only way you're going to be able to solve the issue, really. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm tired. How long have I been streaming for? Who knows? I don't even see a time on it. Let's see, 2 hour. We got a 2 hour stream in today. That's pretty nice. After many crashes, many annoying things, I literally had to rage a little bit before starting the stream again. But I mean, besides that, nice little 2-topic stream today covering different things. I'm really tired, but I'm gonna start pumping out a bit more content this week. And I got a good featured video coming on Friday, unless more crazy things happens, unless another tow truck comes and tries to tow my car away. We'll see. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, everyone who came into the stream, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Do 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 do.